this time it's also the massive toe claws on its feet that are left unpainted, and this is absolutely unexcusable. Hey everyone, it's yours cuddly, Kitwana. The hype for Jurassic World Dominion is about to get real. We are just at around 2 months out until the third and final Jurassic World movie will be released in theaters, and the toys for that blockbuster are already releasing now, even though we are not quite at the official toy release date yet. We are still a few days away from that. So what I have here will be the main feature toy of Dominion, and I'm so excited to unbox this and review this together with you right now. And just got through my door in the original shipping box from the factory, and it says signed Dino on the box, and we will see what kind of signed dinosaur this will be. Unbox this. And there we have him. We are looking at the Giganotosaurus today. That's right, Giganotosaurus, not Gigantosaurus, as many misspell it. The Giganotosaurus will be one of the main dinosaurs of Dominion, that's what we already know. And comes in this attractive box that has artwork of Rexy. So it's the very same box that we have already seen for the Super Colossal Tyrannosaurus Rex. Of course, we have a big Jurassic World Dominion logo. Relatively little visible of the figure, so this figure is made to unbox and definitely not to keep it in box. Yet we will still take a look at the box. Here's the back side that mentions the gigantic bite and the ability of this dinosaur to swallow up to 20 of the mini dinosaurs that are also releasing right now in the next few days. Here they are. And to help you hunt down the Super Colossal Giganotosaurus, here's the UPC code and Mattel's item number. Alrighty, without further ado, let's unbox this big beast. Okay, lots of tape and twisty ties to cut through, and even more cardboard to remove. And then we ultimately end up with 4 different pieces of the Giganotosaurus that we need to assemble. We have the main body, the 2 legs and the tail, and the instruction sheet is going to help us in the assembly process. It is rather self-explanatory, though the only thing you will have to keep in mind is that you use a lot of force when assembling the legs. Make sure they click into place. And another thing to keep in mind is that once you've assembled the legs, they'll stay in place. You can no longer remove them. The same is true for the tail. Once it's attached, it stays there. And unlike on the Super Colossal Tyrannosaurus Rex, you cannot remove it again. And look at this big beast. Here we have the Super Colossal Giganotosaurus in all of its glory. And this is a massive figure, look at that. The coloring scheme is a combination of a green and black. It's a little bit too flashy for my taste. I would have preferred if it was a, some would call it rather boring gray, but that would definitely have been probably more true to a real-life Giganotosaurus. Let's take a first look across its body. We can see the scales on top of it running across its back from the neck, across the hips, and eventually going into the tail. These are beautifully sculpted, but it is not certain if a real-life Giganotosaurus had scales as well. But of course we are used to the artistic freedom of the Jurassic movies. Just think of Spinosaurus, which in real life turned out to be looking quite a bit different than what we have seen in the movie. Back to our Giganotosaurus. Now looking at its face, and for that let's open its mouth, and you can see the tongue is not a separate piece, it's molded into the lower jaw, and at least it's got some nice structure, a beautiful pink color. The teeth are of a flexible rubber-like material. You can easily bend them, and overall the teeth definitely do not look like a real-life Giganotosaurus teeth. A Giga's teeth definitely were closer to a Tyrannosaurus Rex teeth, not spaced apart that much as we can see on this model here. But what I do really like are the eyes, that metallic shimmer in the eyes, and overall the detailing around the muzzle, around the face is really, really nice. We can see some battle scars, of course. You can see the nostrils and everything is there. Panning across its body, we can see they did a really nice job with these little scales, skin folds and wrinkles and battle scars that we can see on the upper legs. Unfortunately, the tail is not colored that much, although here and there we can see some of the color that they used for the belly. It's kind of a really light gray that's been sprinkled in here and there. For example, on the neck and also on the right hand side of the tail. And speaking of the belly, let's say look at it. You can see it's the lighter coloring runs from the arms back towards where the tail begins. The tail is rather bland, as said. Basically just two colors, nothing special on the underside. And of course it does have the flap, so you can feed it the mini dinosaurs and retrieve it from the flap in its belly. And some nice details, really nice structure on the soles of its feet, including the Jurassic logo. But what's really, really disappointing for a dinosaur of that size and price is something that Mattel actually even made worse compared to earlier Super Colossal figures. Not only do the arm claws not feature any paint. This time it's also the massive toe claws on its feet that are left unpainted, and this is absolutely unexcusable. Mattel, I mean, really, get your act together. This figure goes for over $100 in retail in some countries, and you definitely could expect the feet claws to be painted, at least with a simple black, just like it was on the Super Colossal Tyrannosaurus Rex. But these green claws here on the Giga, they just look pathetic. It makes the figure look really toy-like, which is a shame, because otherwise the sculpt is great and everything, and you can clearly see it's a quality dinosaur toy. But these unpainted toe claws distract from that look a lot, and that is truly a shame. Of course, the jump claws on its legs are unpainted as well, but that was already the case on the Tyrannosaurus Rex. No surprise, but the unpainted toe claws on its feet are really a disappointment. I mean, I'm almost thinking of painting them myself. It would, such a simple thing would add a lot to the figure. But who knows, maybe a second version of the Giga is already in the works to be released at a future date, which will have these issues corrected, of course, to make people buying the same figure again. Now let's look at the articulation, and we've got a few positive surprises here, as you will see. As already shown, we can open its mouth. The lower and upper jaw both feature articulation, and then the arms, they not only can go around 360 degrees, they also have an additional point of articulation in their wrists, and you can turn around the hands, if we want to say so, also around 360 degrees. And then we have my favorite point of articulation, actually, and that is the discrete joint on its neck, and that allows it to turn the head sideways a little bit, like this, looking really intimidating, especially when you look at it from the front. Of course, we have articulation on the hips, but the legs do no longer click in place, so you can basically just adjust it however you want. A roaring position like this, a walking position like this, and of course a hunting stance like this. Same as on the T-Rex, we do have articulation on the feet. They can swing inwards and outwards. Actually, they go around 360 degrees. And then let's move on to the tail. The tail moves to the left and right, not up and down. But another pleasant surprise, although I don't really see the point of it either, is the second point of articulation in the middle of the tail. And you can turn around the tip of the tail 360 degrees as well. And you can tell it's in the correct position when you've got the scales aligned properly. The tail is also nicely curved. I'd say this is a good job by Mattel. And overall, I'm really happy with this Giganotosaurus, except for the big flaw of the unpainted toe claws. This is inexcusable, and I hope There will be a new version of the Giganotosaurus with that corrected, otherwise I'm going to do it myself because this looks just ridiculous. Now I want to think about the size because the Super Colossal T-Rex, which you can see behind me, is actually longer than advertised, and I want to see if that is true for the Giganotosaurus as well. And actually, no, it is exactly like it says on the box. Measures 99 centimeters, that's exactly 39 inches. And let's see how it compares to the Super Colossal T-Rex, which I know is a little bit longer. Put the Giga up front so you can see it. The camera. And indeed the tail of the T-Rex is a little bit longer. But other than that, pretty much the very same size and scale. Actually, from a scientific standpoint, it is not known whether Giganotosaurus or T-Rex was larger. We can assume both of them were about the same size. It says that the Giganotosaurus lived a couple million years earlier. T-Rex lived 65 million years ago, while the Giga was roaming our planet 97 to 96 million years ago. But in any way, the T-Rex definitely is no longer the one and only king, as you can see when we put these figures together. Wow, these are massive, and playing with them will be so much fun. You can see the Giga has a big enough bite to take down the T-Rex, and the T-Rex has a gigantic bite as well, so it can easily grab the Giga by the neck and take it down. Wow, this is massive. If we only had this kind of dinosaur toys in that size during my childhood, and the first Jurassic Park movie came out, that would have been so awesome, and it's so great that we live in a fantastic time again for dinosaur toy collectors, for fans of the Jurassic franchise and its toys. So I would say that's already it for my quick review of the Giganotosaurus. As you have seen during unboxing, this figure will release by no later than April 17th, so if it's not yet on the shelf in your country, keep an eye out of it over the next few days and you will definitely find it. It's going to be $59.99 in retail in the US, and I've seen it for £79 in the UK, and here in Switzerland it was of course much more expensive. I paid 109 Swiss francs, but I got it a few days earlier than most countries. But for that price, I would definitely expect painted tall claws next time, Mattel. And with that being said, I'm off to playtime with these two super colossal, super gigantic dinosaur figures. So much fun to have them in my hands and play around with them. These epic dinosaur fights. And I wish you happy toy hunting for all these Dominion toys that are releasing right now, and I hope you will enjoy the movie once it releases in 2 months. I'll definitely go see it as soon as possible, and I thank you so much for watching this episode of Kitwana's Toys. Goodbye!